There was once a boy who stuttered so badly that people avoided talking to him. Today, he is one of the most respected speakers in his city. What changed? He stopped hiding his weakness and instead turned it into his greatest strength. Stay with me, because by the end of this story, you will understand how your deepest struggles can become your most powerful weapons. In a quiet town lived a young boy named Ethan. He was not like other children. While they played cricket and laughed loudly, Ethan stood in the corner, silent and nervous. He had a speech problem. Whenever he tried to speak, words got stuck in his throat. His sentences broke into pieces. People stared. Some laughed. Others looked away in pity. Teachers avoided calling on him in class. Classmates never picked him for group projects. Even ordering food at a shop felt like climbing a mountain. Ethan hated his voice. He hated himself. Every night he prayed for just one thing: to speak like everyone else. But what Ethan did not know was that his weakness was not a curse. It was a seed waiting to grow into something extraordinary. Ethan's father was a kind man who worked at a small printing shop. His mother sold vegetables in the market. They were simple people with big hearts, but they did not understand how deeply their son was suffering. One day, Ethan's school announced a storytelling competition. Every student had to participate. When Ethan heard this, fear gripped his chest. He begged his teacher to excuse him, but she refused. She said gently, "Ethan, hiding will not make you stronger. Sometimes we must face what scares us most." The night before the competition, Ethan could not sleep. He practiced his story again and again in front of the mirror. But every time he spoke, the words tangled. He threw his notebook across the room and cried. His mother found him sitting in the dark, tears streaming down his face. She sat beside him and held his hand. She did not say much. She just stayed there, her presence like a warm blanket. Then she whispered, "My son, I may not know big words or wise teachings, but I know one thing. The cracks in a pot are where the light enters. Your struggle is not your enemy. It is your teacher." Ethan did not fully understand her words that night, but he felt something shift inside him. The next morning, the competition began. One by one, students went on stage and told their stories smoothly. The audience clapped. Some stories were funny, some were clever, but all of them were easy to listen to. Then came Ethan's turn. He walked to the stage with shaking legs. His hands were cold. His mouth was dry. He looked at the crowd, hundreds of eyes staring at him. He opened his mouth to speak, and immediately the words got stuck. Silence. Some students giggled. Ethan's heart pounded so hard he thought it would burst. He wanted to run off the stage, but then he remembered his mother's words. The cracks are where the light enters. He closed his eyes, took a deep breath, and decided something in that moment. He would not pretend to be perfect. He would not rush through his words. He would speak his truth slowly, with all his struggle visible. He began again. This time he did not fight his stutter. He let it be. He paused when he needed to. He took his time. And something magical happened. The audience stopped giggling. They started listening, really listening. Because Ethan was not just telling a story. He was showing them courage. He was showing them what it means to stand in your weakness and refuse to fall. When he finished, there was silence for a few seconds. Then one person clapped. Then another. Soon the entire hall was clapping. Not because his speech was perfect, but because his honesty touched their hearts. Ethan did not win first place that day. But something far more valuable happened. He realized that his weakness could connect him to people in ways that perfection never could. After that day, something changed in Ethan. He stopped seeing his stutter as a curse. He started seeing it as part of his story, his identity, his strength. He began studying how famous people overcame their struggles. He learned that Winston Churchill, one of history's greatest leaders, also had a speech impediment. He learned that many singers, actors, and motivational speakers once struggled with their voices. Ethan realized a powerful truth. People do not connect with perfection. They connect with authenticity. They connect with struggle, with courage, with the human experience of rising after falling. He started practicing speaking every single day, not to hide his stutter, but to strengthen his message. He joined a small community group where people shared their stories. At first, He spoke for just 2 minutes. His voice still broke, but people listened. They thanked him for his honesty. Months passed. Ethan kept showing up. He volunteered to speak at local events. He shared his journey openly. Slowly, his confidence grew. His stutter did not disappear completely, but it no longer controlled him. He controlled the narrative. One evening, a traveling teacher named Mr. Harris visited Ethan's town. He was known for his deep wisdom and had helped countless young people find their purpose. Ethan's father took him to meet this wise man. Mr. Harris listened to Ethan's story carefully. When Ethan finished, Mr. Harris smiled and said, "Do you know why a diamond is valuable?" Ethan shook his head. "Because it was once coal," Mr. Harris continued. "It was buried deep in the earth, crushed under unimaginable pressure for thousands of years. That pressure, that pain, that darkness transformed it into something precious. Your weakness, Ethan, is your coal. The pressure you feel is shaping you into a diamond." He paused, then added, "Most people spend their lives hiding their cracks, painting over them, pretending they do not exist. But the wise ones, they turn their cracks into art. They let light pour through. You have already begun this journey." Mr. Harris then taught Ethan 3 principles. First, accept what you cannot change. Stop wasting energy fighting reality. Your stutter is part of you. Fighting it only makes it stronger. Acceptance is not giving up. It is finding peace so you can move forward. Second, use your pain as fuel. Every struggle carries a lesson. Every wound holds wisdom. The pain you experience taught you empathy, patience, and courage. These are gifts most people never receive. Third, share your story. Your weakness becomes a superpower when you use it to help others. There are thousands of people struggling in silence, feeling alone. When you speak your truth, you give them permission to do the same. These 3 principles became the foundation of Ethan's new life. Years went by. Ethan finished school and went to college. He studied communication and psychology, fascinated by how people connect and heal. He started a small YouTube channel where he shared stories about turning struggles into strengths. At first, only a few people watched. But those few people shared his videos. They said things like, "This boy speaks from the heart," and "His honesty made me cry." Slowly, his audience grew. People from different cities, different backgrounds, all connected by one thing. They had their own struggles, their own weaknesses they were ashamed of. Ethan received messages from students who felt too anxious to speak in class, from adults who battled depression, from parents who felt they were failing their children. He responded to each one, sharing his journey and reminding them that their pain had purpose. One day, a big organization invited Ethan to speak at a youth leadership conference. Thousands of young people attended. When Ethan walked on stage, he felt the same nervousness from years ago, but this time he did not run from it. He embraced it. He began his speech with complete honesty. "My name is Ethan and I stutter. I used to think this made me weak. Today I know it makes me real." The crowd was silent, hanging on every word. He shared his story, the pain, the shame, the breakthrough. He told them that their weaknesses are not barriers. They are bridges to deeper strength, greater empathy, and true connection. When he finished, the applause lasted for minutes. But more importantly, dozens of young people came up to him afterward with tears in their eyes, thanking him for giving them hope. So, my friend, what is the message here? What can we learn from Ethan's journey? Here is the truth that many people never realize. Your weakness is not the opposite of your strength. It is the seed of it. Think about it. The person who was once broke understands the value of money better than someone who never struggled. The person who faced rejection becomes resilient. The person who battled illness learns compassion. The person who stuttered learns the power of patience and presence. Your weakness forces you to develop qualities that others never need. It pushes you into dark places where you must either break or become unbreakable. And when you choose to rise, you rise stronger than anyone who never fell. Here is another powerful truth. People do not follow perfection. They follow authenticity. They follow courage. They follow those brave enough to show their scars. When you hide your weakness, you disconnect from others. When you share it, you create a bond. You become a mirror where others see their own struggles reflected. You become proof that transformation is possible. Let me tell you something practical. Right now, think about the thing you are most ashamed of. Maybe it is your appearance, your past mistakes, your fears, your failures. That thing you try so hard to hide, that is exactly where your superpower lives. Ask yourself, what has this weakness taught me? What strength did I develop because of it? How can I use this experience to help others? When you answer these questions honestly, you begin the transformation. Ethan's story does not end here. Today, he runs workshops helping young people find their voice. He has written a book about turning pain into purpose. He still stutters sometimes, and he does not hide it. That vulnerability is his trademark, his gift to the world. But here is what matters most. Ethan is not special. He is not superhuman. He is just someone who decided to stop running from himself. He is proof that you do not need to be perfect to make an impact. You just need to be brave enough to be real. And now, my friend, it is your turn. Stop waiting to become someone else before you start living. Stop thinking that once your weakness disappears, then you will be worthy. You are worthy now, cracks and all. Your weakness is not a mistake. It is a message. It is preparing you for a purpose only you can fulfill. The world does not need another perfect person. It needs your unique story, your struggle, your victory. So here is my challenge to you. Take that thing you have been hiding and bring it into the light. Not to show off your pain, but to transform it. Write about it. Talk about it. Find others who share it. Turn your private battle into a public gift. Because when you do, something incredible happens. Your weakness stops being a weight and becomes wings. Your struggle stops being shame and becomes strength. Your pain stops being poison and becomes medicine for others. This is how you turn your weakness into your superpower. If Ethan's story touched something inside you, if you felt even a spark of hope or recognition, then do not let it fade. That spark is your signal. It is telling you that change is possible, that transformation is waiting. Before you go, I want you to do 3 things. First, leave a comment below and tell me one weakness you are ready to transform. Let this be your first step toward owning your story. Second, share this video with someone who needs to hear it. You know someone, a friend, a family member, someone struggling in silence. Send them this message. Let them know they are not alone. Third, follow us for more life stories. Subscribe to this channel and join this community of people who believe that our deepest wounds can become our greatest wisdom. Remember, your next chapter does not begin when everything is perfect. It begins the moment you decide that your weakness is worthy of transformation. Your superpower is already inside you. Now go and claim it. Start today.